Hello, how are you? Logan had an interesting post today on Instagram where he posted his 7 conclusions after the match. They left some room for interpretation, so let's have a closer look. First of all, let me tell you, I'm totally neutral. I'm not in favor of KSI or Logan or anything. I'm just looking at the post and giving you my interpretation on how I read the post. And then before we start, don't forget to subscribe to Story Spotlight for amazing stories and to support. Now, let's get into the conclusions. His first conclusion is, I should have won the fight. Now, how I read this is not that he's blaming the judges or anything, or he's saying the decision is wrong. How I read this here, I should have won the fight, is that he thinks he could have won the fight. And I agree with that. He could definitely have won the fight, and he should have won the fight, because what we've seen in rounds 1 and 2 is that Logan has shown great boxing skills. I was really impressed by how well of a boxer Logan was in round 1 and 2, controlled and very, very focused. He just did not have the cardio to go 6 rounds, and there were no clear actions and hits in round 4, 5 and 6. So that's not enough. So he knows what he's got to do, work on the cardio, and then it's gonna be a different story in the rematch. But remember, also KSI will do his homework for the rematch. Logan's conclusion number 2. He says, when I punch, it looks like I'm pooping. Well, possible. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that. It's probably his face on the pictures. I think that's just the normal punching face. I mean, you can always take a picture of somebody where he looks weird. So, I don't know. Don't worry, Logan. It's all good. Don't worry. Logan's conclusion number 3. KSI fights like a dog in a corner, and I respect that. What does Logan mean by that? Now it gets interesting. My opinion, I don't read this as disrespect. I think it's like saying KSI fights really tough, and especially when he's in a corner, he's gonna fight even more desperate and even tougher. And he's gonna do whatever he needs to win. A really tough fighter, and not giving up very easily. He's just gonna give whatever he has to try to win the fight. And I think that's pretty much what we've seen. And you know, when your opponent is desperate, he is always the most difficult to beat. I'm jealous of KSI's sparkly skirt. It certainly looked really fancy, but so did the black clothing that Logan was wearing. Especially the black and white with the brother, like the brother in white and he in black. That was kind of really cool. So yeah, I think nice joke there. Some people are saying the fight was rigged. Literally, I can't say those words here. It's in the post. Because we stay family friendly. But that's what he says. In my opinion, the match is obviously not rigged. I mean, you can see that both of them really tried hard to win this. They did whatever they could. KSI fought hard to win this, and Logan fought hard to counter all the attacks that KSI threw at him. So that's pretty obvious, and it's also obvious that their cardio was just not ready for 6 rounds of 3 minutes. Otherwise, it would be a different match. And also, you can see that they both were really surprised at the verdict. They didn't expect this, and for a moment, they both were clueless what that means, a majority draw. So, certainly, I don't have the impression that it's rigged or anything. I mean, a draw can always happen in a boxing match. Number 6. My gear is sexy AF. I'm not gonna comment on this. This is just his mandatory advertisement. So let's jump to conclusion number 7. He says, I will not leave it up to the judges in the USA rematch. That's what he says. You could interpret this as he's saying the judges did the wrong decision or anything, but I don't think that's what he means. I don't think it's a critics to the judges. I read this, I mean, I literally said this many times. To be 100% sure you win, you have to win by knockout. That's the way to win for sure, and nobody can take the win by points or anything. So I think that's what he means, and I think he's saying this to assure us that he's trying to go all in the rematch and trying to give his fans a knockout. That's what I read out of this. However, it's a good plan to go by knockout, but Logan, you have to be ready for 12 rounds of 3 minutes if you want to go 6 rounds of 3 minutes. So be prepared for those 6 rounds, and you do that by preparing for 12 rounds at least. Then it will be a different story. Don't pressure the knockout too much. Be patient and wait for your chance. That's the way. And then when your chance is there, then go for the knockout, but don't take too much risk. Go for the knockout when it's there, tire the opponent. And if it's 6 rounds, it's 6 rounds, but be ready. So that's the 7 conclusions of Logan. Now, there was also some discussions in different chats and on different videos where people actually think Logan has lost the 3rd round. I'm going to give you my opinion on this. I don't think Logan lost the 3rd round. I think he won the 3rd round. And I had another look at the 3rd round, and looking at this, it's pretty obvious, to me at least, my opinion, that Logan also won the 3rd round. The thing is, Logan, in round 1 and 2, he was so strong and so dominant that it was so clear that he won. And then in the 3rd round, kind of KSI started jumping at him and fighting back, so that people could get the impression that the match has turned. It actually went differently in the 3rd round. He couldn't really hit Logan in the 3rd round. Those were wild swings, and Logan was still ready to defend against them, and Logan had the clear hits on KSI. So that's why I think Logan really won the 3rd round. I have to say this, the 3rd round of course was the turning point. That's when KSI started applying his strategy that turned out to be successful from round 4 to round 6, because Logan did not have a recipe against those wild attacks. For me, the draw goes totally okay. I think that's what it really is. And in the end, a draw means a win for KSI, because he's gonna keep his YouTube title. So if you're interested in a detailed match analysis, check out this video right here where I analyzed the match in detail. Check that one out. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to StorySpotlight for more amazing stories. See you in the next video.